All right, so I recently had a friend come over and was kind of impressed with this drawer. So I thought, well, maybe that's something to share with other people that might be interesting. So I used to be a mechanic, and I have a woodworking shop now in my garage. It's a little disorganized. We just got back from a big trip. But a lot of mechanics don't do woodwork, and a lot of woodworkers don't do mechanic stuff. So maybe this is a small use case. But there's a really nice way to stay organized. Which is basically, a lot of times sockets come on these things. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. One of the things I don't like is you can't just reach and pick it up. There's a lot of variation too. And they normally have just the right amount for the set you bought and nothing extra. And so then all of your little pieces like reducers and adapters and swivels have no place to go. So anyway, you can pretty much already see what I'm going to show, but basically if you take blocks of wood and you take a drill, Forstner bits are a good choice for this type of work, and you can just drill, you can either drill a blind hole that doesn't go all the way down to the bottom like here, or I forgot I glued these down, or you can drill a through hole and then just glue some wood down on the bottom like plywood. But it's a nice way to stay organized. You can combine and cluster things as you like. So I have like 3/8 deep, medium, shallow for metric, swivel standard, medium standard, tall standard. And then I custom made like all these, which are just for, the different adapters and kind of miscellaneous, if you will. Obviously, it's not all organized. I can be inattentive, but I can also find some limits. So yeah, and then this was this is kind of a cool thing. I have a few extra things that I've added, but it used to look like this. And basically I could, pick this up and go with me. And in these cases, what I did is I drilled a small hole to catch the 1/4-inch head. And then I just drilled a hole and pounded in a little magnet so they kind of stay in place. Same thing with this one. And I could have put some polyurethane on there so this wipes clean, but yeah, I didn't. So anyway, if you have some wood or woodworking skills and you have these types of tools that you need to keep organized, it's a really quick and cheap method. I used a drill press and Forstner bits, which is a really good choice, but you could do it with other types of bits if you wanted to. And then the only other tip I was just going to show, nothing mind-blowing, but basically the best way that I've found to store pliers, and you can buy something that does this, is basically like on a 45-degree angle. Obviously I haven't finished, but this is a really nice way to do it. And I looked for a really cheap economical option with scrap wood. So this is basically plywood at, it's not a 45, I think a 30. And then this is just nasty pieces of hardboard. And they're not super strong, but you don't want them super thick because then you're losing space and capacity. But it works pretty good, and I had it lying around. And I did something kind of similar for wrenches. Basically just take a piece of wood and just run slots in the table saw or some other way for the right width and spaced out. And the nice thing about doing this custom is you can do, you can do whatever. When you buy these things, it's normally for like 15 pieces or 20 pieces. So then you have some extra, or maybe you don't have enough. So you can just do this custom. And this is a piece of plywood. This is a piece of Paduke, I think, that I had. Piece of walnut, piece of oak. So it's just scraps lying around. But it'll help you get organized, and it costs almost nothing. So maybe that's helpful to someone. Maybe not. If it's not, keep on scrolling. Take care.